Hi guys, this is Bill from Spencer1984.com with step 2 of building Revell 69 charger kit, the interior floor assembly. As with the previous step, we're going to be starting out with part A here, but unlike that one, we got a lot of parts trees to pull from. We've got this one here that has the main floor on it. We've got this one here that has the center console. We've got this one here that has the firewall. We've got this one here that has the heater box. We've got this back here that has the pedals. And we've also got some chrome parts, the back of the center console, and the side lights for it. So yeah, we got a lot going on here. Let's trim it down to what we actually need and be right back. Okay, that's a lot better. So we've got a lot fewer parts to deal with than we did with assembling the engine, but these parts are going to need a bit more work. Taking a look at the firewall here, you can see that we've got some ejector pin marks here, 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 and here that need to be cleaned up. Now there's some here and here as well, but those are inside the fender wells when we're done, so don't really need to worry about those too much. We do have some in the interior though. We got one here and here, each corner of the back shelf, and worse, we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 that we need to worry about right in the middle of carpeting. So let's start with a quick and easy way to get rid of those guys. Okay, so switching to the outside camera here, we're going to take a look here and see that I have sanded the back floor smooth. And what you're going to need is some of this Duplicolors filler primer, and you want to stand way back and just hit it like that. Give it a few mist coats, let it dry, and then hit it again. Because you're spraying it on so light, it's going on dry almost immediately. So this is a pretty quick process, but you want to get maybe 8 to 10 coats of it on here to rebuild the texture of the carpeting. And so you can see, once you've got it textured, you just put some interior color on it, and you're done. I also filled in the 2 pin marks on the back dash here, then hit everything with some satin black and some apple barrel jet black for the carpeting. So now I'm going to paint up the rest of the parts for this step, and I will be right back. And here it is all wrapped up. So while assembly was pretty straightforward, there were a couple of details that I want to mention about final assembly. First up, there's not really a great connection between the center console and the floor, so you want to follow this line right here when you're putting it in. That is going to leave a gap on this side, right up under here, and that's okay. You want this line, though, to be tight. And that's the way that you're going to know that you've got the center console nice and level inside. Also, up here, it's not really obvious how they want this piece to go in. What they have is the clutch and brake here fit into a notch between the 2 tabs on the firewall. So that's how you're going to know how that's correct. And you're going to want the final to look like this, with the gas pedal touching the pad right there and the other 3 suspended next to it. You also don't want to forget to paint the underside, at least as much as I've got done here, because that will show through when you've got the chassis in place. Most of it's kind of covered by the drive shaft and the exhaust pipes, mufflers, and such, but still, you don't want to have raw white plastic just kind of hanging out there. And the last thing is the firewall. You want this arc right here to be centered on the transmission tunnel as best you can. There's not a positive locator for that either, so you're going to have to eyeball it a little bit, but just kind of get it as close as you can, and you should be fine. So that's it for 2A. 2B is this part right here, and this is only used if you're building the race car version of it. This kit has been released as a 68, as the hemified, and so on. And if you do want to use it, you just drop it in from the back like this, and you line it up. One sec. And so this is how you're going to want it to look, with the flat bottom of the brace right here on this flat spot on the drive shaft tunnel, and then the two arms going up and behind the rear bulkhead. Once you're building the race car version of it, the rear seat hides it entirely. You don't need it. So that wraps up step 2 entirely. Hope this has been helpful for you, and we'll be moving on to step 3 in the next video. So check back then, and thanks for watching.